Good morning. Today is Wednesday of the fifth week of the season of Lent. And I would like to specifically talk about just this week because if you remember, with last Sunday's Mass, the fifth Sunday of Lent, the Church requires that the priests use a different preface for the Mass. In an earlier time, the fifth week of Lent was called Passion Week to distinguish it from the following week, which obviously was referred to as Holy Week. Now, the reason the Church still refers in the preface, using this preface as Passion Week, is because what we find, especially in each of the first readings for the Masses, are sections from mainly the prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah, those sections which are so clearly referring to Jesus as the one who is anointed by God, but who will suffer and die in order to restore the people to God's graces, so to speak. And so each day, the first readings for the Masses are going to be these prophecies where, as we listen to them, all we need to do is just think of Jesus, because they apply to him perfectly. As we find now in the Gospels, he is being almost continuously persecuted and questioned by the scribes, the Pharisees. They're plotting even, and we're listening to in the main the sections of St. John's Gospel, where St. John very clearly points out the difference between those who refuse to believe and accept Jesus, mainly the chief priests, scribes, and Pharisees, who plot continuously to try and trap him in his speech, and also are plotting to kill him because he stands as kind of the public conscience for their bad faith and their misdeeds. They don't like that. They prefer the darkness to the light. And we also listen in the Gospels, and it began with Sunday, and this same reference will occur a few more times, especially in this Passion Week, the fifth week of Lent, where Jesus is confronting the scribes and Pharisees with their rejection of him, their lack of faith in God, and their intentional sinfulness in refusing to believe. And St. John will write that this infuriates those people, and they wanted to arrest him and punish him, but they were afraid of the people, because the people considered Jesus a great prophet. But the reference St. John puts in his narrative, when the scribes and Pharisees, as mad and as furious as they are with Jesus, don't arrest him, he says, Jesus' hour had not yet come. And that is very important for understanding this fifth week of Lent. The shadow of the cross is looming larger and larger over all of us, and especially over Jesus, but that hour for Jesus had not yet come, as it would in the Garden of Gethsemane, when he's betrayed and arrested and persecuted, first by Judas and then by the chief priests, the scribes, the Pharisees, and then the Romans, and ultimately put to death. But this fifth week of Lent is so important for all of us that it bears our attention, our meditation, and again, with the ample opportunities that we all have for Mass and for going to confession, this is the time when I urge everyone to redouble your efforts at prayer and penance and performing those good works. And especially, I urge, if you have not yet, please avail yourselves, take advantage of the extra times all of the priests are giving in the parishes to receive the sacrament of penance. Go to confession. Be properly prepared and disposed to fully enter into Holy Week, which begins with Palm Sunday, this coming Sunday, and follow the Lord literally in your daily prayer and daily lives from Palm Sunday, then on through Holy Week, the Paschal Triduum, and be prepared to see him risen from the dead on Easter Sunday. And so make this last full week of Lent a week especially good and especially intense in your prayer and in your penance.